Oh yes, what is good guys, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Contest of Champions news. It's the 14th of January 2019 edition of Marvel Contest of Champions news. I'm feeling good, hopefully you're feeling good. We've got lots of stories to cover, whether or not it's compensation coming back to us, whether or not it's some funny things in the forum and some informative things, and also some stuff that we've got to delve a little deeper into. It's Marvel Contest of Champions news. Let's roll into this shiz. Our first story sends us into the wilds of the Great Marvel Insider, where we've got lots of things going on. So whether or not you're a Marvel Insider member, whether or not you do the points, and if you're not familiar with what this is, I'll put a link in the description to a video that kind of explains this, as well as a tips and tricks guide to how to get a Marvel Insider account. But the great thing about this is the way to get extra points, and points mean prizes. And as you can see, you can compete in the events that are currently on at the moment in order to gain those points. It's also quite interesting to find out that Marvel Contest of Champions, or Kabam, sponsored the live stream of the first family coming back into the Marvel publication-y, gamesy, filmy universe thing. And just to confirm, in the rewards section, there is a bundle for the thing. Next up, and let's talk about connection problems. So as you know, over the last few days, we've had terrible connection problems. It's been really bad, and goes back to like where it was last year, where we had a similar type thing where there was lag, there was connection problems, things weren't functioning well, couldn't log in, etc, etc. But this time it seems like loads of little micro drops in connections. It's something that Kabam have confirmed. They have acknowledged this, and they have taken it to the game team as they normally do. Whether or not we'll see any kind of improvement, I don't know. There is meant to be a server maintenance scheduled for Tuesday of this week, so whether or not that will sort the issue out, I just don't know. But it ain't good. By watching the Crystal Opening Wilds video, you can see loads of different connection problems popping up, and it is really darn annoying. Funnily enough, when we'll get to the story about Arena, this could be very much reflected of the scores that we're seeing, and it's a bit of a shocker, to be honest. But connection problems are the key subject at the moment, and no one's happy about this, and we really need Kabam to do something. So we're hoping that something is sorted out by Tuesday with that server maintenance, but ideally we would have liked this to be sorted over a weekend where people wanted to grind out in Arena and play the game for the new event currently on. Next up, it's time to get your tinfoil hats on and cool conspiracy, because we're going to talk about one of those stories. So from my kind of grinding out Labyrinth for Legends fairly recently, I was kind of noticing the way that the AI was responding to certain things, as well as just general things in the game. When you're doing uncollected, more difficult content, the way that the AI kind of works, it looks like it's got more intelligent. And that feeling, if you have that feeling, you shouldn't feel alone. There are people in this particular forum that do kind of address that and kind of go, well, the way that the AI moves and how it responds to evades and how it responds to things like intercepts is a lot more different than it was last year, and makes you kind of think, has Kabam changed the AI in a certain way that it is more intelligent? And at this point, there's loads of different thought processes on this. I like this one particularly here, that the AI is a little bit more unpredictable than normal. Personally, I've had experience where I've been going up against certain champions and found that I've gone into what I think to be a parry, which with my thumb down would then necessarily, if it wasn't a parry, would be then a block, but then found that I'm being hit through. It's kind of an odd thing, but again, I don't know if that's attributed to device. Please be advised that if you've got an older device, or at the same time, if you haven't turned your phone off in a while, relogged it, cleared your cache, then you may experience some kind of like droppage with the game. I'm not saying Kabam's game is going to be perfect. Oh, there's times where it definitely isn't. But at times, they always go, have you done A, B, C, and D? And then if you say no, then they go, no, it's probably A, B, C, and D. It's not our game. So if you do A, B, C, D first, and then say, I've done this prior, then they don't have anything to really stand on with regards to a leg. Even though the whole scheme of this post is kind of point out, has AI got dexterity? I think the whole kind of argument, or the whole kind of like point to this, is saying, well, has AI got more intelligent? Has it evolved? Is it more unpredictable? And that's something I'll leave off to you. How do you think the AI has been in the recent year, 2018 going to 2019? Is it a little bit more intelligent? Is it a little bit more unpredictable? Have your thoughts and your say in the comment section below, or go to this forum post and have your say too. Next up, and did they class them wrong? This is something that the player base feel very strongly about in the kind of conjunction with The Thing, and potentially more cosmic champions coming into the game, ipso facto Fantastic Four. it's going to be quite weird the way that they then enter these in. So if we're saying that Mr. Fantastic's going to be Science, Sue Storm, Science, and Human Torch, Science, then players may feel a little bit... I mean, if this was just the Thing, then maybe yes. But the only reason that I made a video and said about the Thing was the idea that his through alchemy, through chemistry, that associates him with the story arc of Diablo. That was the reason maybe for him to be altered by that Science. If it's a case that Kabam are going to roll all of them out as Science, all the Fantastic Four as Science, then that is something I disagree with. But the Thing specifically based on the Diablo story arc from the source material, that is something that I do agree with. However, though, people are indifferent on this whole subject. It's pointed out that Science champions are those that are exposed to radiated waves, and also those that have been manipulated through cosmic entities or cosmic beings or cosmic types or from cosmic birth would then be cosmic. Again, some aspects of the second part doesn't really make sense to me personally, but that is maybe the suggestions and pointers that they've been given from Marvel. See, there's the two videos there. If you're interested in them, I'll put a link in the description, and I'll probably make a third one. Next up, and I don't know if you remember back in December, we had a problem with Alliance Brawl in that we weren't able to accumulate points and things weren't coinciding with Alliance Quest kind of runs. So it meant that we were without getting a full amount of things like boosts from that particular event. Kabam have recently sorted this out for us and have given us through the compensation, which is very much well received, especially for the boosts here, because like these are the main things. Getting these boosts are the most important. The other stuff is all right. It's sort of helpful, especially for lower alliances, lower rated players that just started the game that are in alliances. But it's these boosts here. These boosts here mean a lot to players, especially up at the higher tiers, because they're free. They're freebies. And as well, they're helpful to things like Alliance Wars seasons and other difficult content in game. Next up, we've got two funny posts to share with you. The first one starting here. So Windforce sent this in here, and it's like, oh god, 3 blimmin' Magnetos, like 3 5-star crystals, is 30,000 5-star shards. I hope these weren't featured, by the way. But yeah, like it's terrible getting this. This is quite unlucky. And we talked about the Miss Marvel Kamala Khan fairly recently, but this one is in one hit, just like all 3 there, one big hit, and it's the same. Man, this is terribly unlucky RNG. Feel for you, man, feel for you. Hopefully that some luck comes your way. And our second funny story is this here. So this person goes like, oh, I've seen Blade in this crystal. This is the 6-star featured. Oh my god, Blade's coming. When will Blade be in the basic? And obviously the more vigilant among you will go, that's not the 6-star featured. That's the 5-star featured. But the guy keeps it all in good jest, and he goes, oops, oh, I should have fact checked, or I should close this post. And obviously takes it in good spirit, which is good. And it's ended off with Fing Fang Foom Fane saying there's a memes thread. Okay, now let's talk about arena grinding. And the fact is, how has the connection issues affected the arena grind over the weekend? Has it been good? Has it been bad? What have been the cutoffs? What are you seeing so far? Well, at the moment, I'm kind of recording this prior to a lot of the data coming in, but there is significant information for us to talk about. Beginning with the 4-star featured, it seems that 11.2 mil was enough to get the Thing. That, I mean, I did not see that coming. As a champion that I thought at least would go for 13.5 mil, maybe even more based on the nostalgia, the hype, especially like the push from Marvel. But then you have to consider the fact that we had connection issues, and maybe people aren't grinding out quite so much in game as maybe we'd think. I do feel, however, that this could be a different thing when it comes to round 2, and maybe expect about 12.5 mil, as maybe people got a little bit higher. Maybe Kabam have sorted out the connection issues by then. We'll have to see, but I'll go with 12.5 mil to be safe on this one. 1.5 mil safe for the 3-star. That's something that I said, I think, in the last video when I was doing predictions, and it just seemed to ring true. If you want 3-star, 1.5 mil for this. It looks like 1.66 mil was enough to get you a Storm at 4-star. But if you want to make sure you definitely get it next time, I'd probably say 1.7 is going to be safe. There's no clear information as of yet on the 5-star and where it landed. I hear rumour that he went for as little as 40 mil, but that is not confirmed. I strongly suggest you following and liking the page of Marvel Contest of Champions TrueCost for all your up-to-date information about arena scores, information on the community, upcoming events, and other things that are applicable to help you better for your grind in Marvel Contest of Champions. So that's been your Marvel Contest of Champions news for the 14th of January 2019. I've been RichTheMan. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I shall catch you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.